Welcome back. It's one of the most romantic periods of human history, an era that was rooted in innocence, simplicity, and the arts. The beauty, the opulence of the Victorian era has been reflected on the canvas by artist Patrick Lynch, and here to tell us about how you can experience his new exhibit, A Victorian Romance. The artist himself, Patrick Lynch, and Teresa Williams. She's the owner of the Solaris Art Gallery. And thank you both for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And you've already got us thinking Victorian thoughts here. An awesome outfit.
Oh, thank you. I like dressing this way very much.
Well, and I imagine as an artist that helps you kind of get into the zone when you're working on a painting of Victorian era.
It does.
Very, very cool. Well, Teresa, as the owner of the gallery, how did you find Patrick's work, and how did you all decide to collaborate on this exhibit?
Well, Patrick has exhibited at the Woodford County Library, and we met at the Woodford County Library, and he has a very unique and wonderful style to his art that people really love. And it's a style and a uniqueness that you don't see every day, and that's what we want. We want something that is different, something that's original, and we like the uniqueness of it. We want something that nobody else has.
Wonderful. That's what art's all about.
Yes.
Start to challenge us, create a dialogue. Yes. And Patrick, you focus on the Victorian era. Obviously, there's a lot to work with there. It was just a gilded age, as they say.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, the Victorian period is kind of a complicated era in a lot of ways, in that a lot of the things that we experience today in terms of modern angst, they experienced themselves 100, 150 years before we did. And they also looked back, you know, to what they perceived to be a simpler time.
Right.
And there was a group of English painters called the Pre-Raphaelites who did that. They were modern painters, but they looked back to an idealized past. In a way, I'm kind of doing the same thing.
Sentimental, if nothing else, describes the Victorian era. So tell me a little bit about the art that we're seeing here. Set the stage for us. Where does the inspiration come from, and describe your process to me.
Well, I am one of those kids who ran home from school to watch Dark Shadows back in the day.
Oh, yes, a very gothic show.
Yes, and I was more interested in the gothic romance than the scary stuff.
I see.
And if you like movies like Somewhere in Time, the original 1947 Ghost of Mrs. Muir,
right.
It's more about the period romance.
Yes.
Now, the paintings, I work in acrylic on masonite, or in the collages, or 19th century clip art.
I see.
Arranged in completely new compositions, put onto a board. I have to admit, I'm also colorblind, so I have to work out my colors intellectually more than just seeing them. So if they tend to look a little bright to people, they don't look so bright to me.
Interesting. Well, it's gorgeous work in a really cool time period I've always been fascinated with. I think of Scorsese's Age of Innocence, too, when I see
Yes, that's one of my favorite movies also.
If these films and this time period appeals to you, we know that you're going to love the exhibit down here. And Teresa, how long will the exhibit be on display, and how can folks find you?
Yes, we are at 135 Lexington Street, Versailles, Kentucky, next to the Wilson's Pool Room, the home of the famous Willie Burger, and very good food. And we will exhibit A Victorian Romance. Will be there until it will be here this month, February, March, and April.
Very good. All right. We want to invite everyone out. You had info on the screen right there. Phone number at the bottom for more information as well. Guys, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing your artistry with us, too. We appreciate it.
Can I sneak in one last shout out?
Of course.
For your documentary, I would highly recommend the Kentucky Room at the Lexington Public Library. Everything you could possibly want on the history of Lexington, you can find there. I appreciate that. We'll look into it. Hey, guys, thank you. Thank you. We're going to take you back to Ashley Furniture as Michael looks for more President's Day deals in just a couple of minutes. Stick around.